So we didn't actually talk about this, and I know you're our expert on what was said in which episodes. So I think actually it was episode 14 when I actually asked you, who did you think was going to win the UK Championship? Do you remember? We had a list of who it was going to be.
You did, and I called it a Joe Coffey, yeah.
And that's what I thought. Now, it's kind of ironic. I was actually in the UK, and I didn't actually get to watch this at all. So I've just caught up in this in the last couple of days. So what actually did happen then? And you said you didn't see the whole thing. You just seen little bits. So the final then was Zach Gibson and Travis Banks. I'm trying to look. Have I got this the right way around? I think Zach Gibson was the winner. Did you see what Zach Gibson's finisher was? He used this in every match, and I'm mentioning it to it because it's very specific to you.
Please tell me he was using the cop lock.
He wasn't using that, but it was something that was very similar. It had a very similar name, which is why I was asking you, because he was from Liverpool. It was called the Shankly Gaze.
Is that by any chance like an elevated crab? Like the Walls of Jericho?
It was one-armed. It was kind of weird. It didn't look like it did anything at all. It was just one arm that was sort of pulled up. But it's sort of similar position, but yeah, just one arm that was extended backwards.
When I used to backyard wrestle, I had one called the Gates of Anfield. So it's almost exactly the same name.
Okay. So I didn't know if it was his own one or if you'd heard of it, so I thought it was certainly worth mentioning. Now, I thought the crowd actually had some... it was very football-like, or soccer for American audiences.
Yeah.
They were not interested in Gibson at all after he won, because he got to fight Pete Dunne for the championship. And it started off with stand up, if you hate Gibson, stand up. And they just kept going like that. And then the next one, I've never heard this one before. And I haven't been to a football match, admittedly, in a few years now. Shoes off, if you hate Gibson. And then they were waving their shoes around. Is that a new one? I've not seen that one.
That's a Manchester one. That's something that I've seen it like on the old days, like at Man City. Shoes off, if you hate the Reds. And literally the picture of everyone, all 25,000 of their shoes just waving in the air. It's more of a northern thing, but it is something like, it's bizarre, absolutely bizarre.
And I consider myself a northerner, so I guess I'm surprised at that. But I have been living in the States like 14 years now, so I guess I shouldn't be surprised I've missed it. Now, I actually thought the UK Championship was good. My only problem with it was totally overshadowed by the other matches that they brought in. I was far more impressed by the other matches. So they had Undisputed Era versus British Strong Style, which was fantastic. Yeah. Undisputed Era versus Mustache Mountain. Aleister Black with Ricochet versus EC3 and Velveteen Dream. And they also had Shayna Baszler as well, and I actually skipped that match, to be honest. I watched the last few minutes just to see how it went on, because the whole program was like 5 hours, and I had to skip select things, and that was one I chose. Yeah. But no, it's amazing how good the people are from last year. The last year's winners, and Trent Seven as well, who were also in that tournament, how much they've progressed in a year. And I'd be interested to see actually how much those people this year, where they are in a year's time. But I think that's certainly the cream of the crop from last year.
Absolutely. I mean, I want to see what happens big time with the NXT UK, where it's going to be broadcast. Is it a network exclusive? Is it going to be on TV here or in America? Probably America, probably be on a network, I imagine. But
I would have thought so, yeah.
I'm hoping it is on TV here, because I'm all over that sort of thing. Mm-hmm. Because when World of Sport starts up very soon, I believe. Me and Jimmy are actually planning on maybe doing a review show for it.
Nice.
Because being UK based is probably not a bad idea. But let's say World of Sport is going up against NXT UK, as they are literally three natural rivals.
Yeah.
Both starting up brand new. So
now there was a few things that were interesting from having lived in both sides of the Atlantic now. A few things that I think would have been very confusing to the American listeners. The ref missed a tag from Ricochet. It was pretty obvious. He was lying in the corner. He tagged Aleister Black in, and the ref didn't see it, and the ref refused to acknowledge the tag, even though he was right next to him in the corner. It was obvious he tagged him. And the crowd started chanting, VAR, VAR. They would have no idea what that is. Unless people watch the World Cup, that's the video replay system that they use, and we used it for the Premier League this year. Certain cup matches as well. So that was one thing that I was confused by. Now, there was one other reference which I was interested to see. We talked about this when I was over with you in England, about the language that people use. And so one of the commentators referred to a piece of action as HE double hockey sticks. All right. Does that mean anything to you at all, Matt?
In what context, Graham?
Oh, in terms of the wrestling match. He was describing the action, and he described it as HE double hockey sticks. Now, to American listeners, we would all know what that is. I have a feeling the English audiences...
I know what you're referring to, yes.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if that was one. I'd never heard that until I came over here as well. I'm sure on a match like that, where the crowd are chanting certain words, I'm sure you could say hell. I don't know why he would refrain...
America. I'm like, yeah, but we're not in America. We're in England. So,
Well, I almost thought that was like, and I'm going to give a plug to one of your people who was on your podcast recently. That's almost like a Kelsey PG level. I thought it was totally unnecessary for a wrestling match to avoid saying that word, and I thought that was just overly confusing. I would have thought, why is he talking about hockey sticks in a match? That has nothing to do with hockey. Anyway, and even worse, hockey, of course, in England is ice hockey as well, so I thought that just added an extra level of complication into it as well.
All right, I got Jackson with me who's going to make his picks for your show, Matt. Do you want to say hi, Jackson?
Hi!
All right. Can you say hi to Kelsey as well?
Hi!
All right. So the first match that they want to know who you think is going to win is from the pre-show. So do you think it's going to be Sanity or do you think it's going to be New Day?
Sanity.
Sanity. Okay. Okay. Match 1. Nia or Alexa?
Alexa Bliss.
Alexa Bliss. Good job, buddy. High five. Seth Rollins or Dolph Ziggler?
Dolph Ziggler.
Dolph Ziggler. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Carmella or Oscar? Oscar. Okay, tag teams. Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt or the B team?
B team.
B team. Okay, Jeff Hardy or Shinsuke Nakamura?
Jeff Hardy.
Jeff Hardy. Bludgeon Brothers or Team Hell Heck No?
Team Hellneck.
You want the second team? Heck No?
Yeah.
All right, sounds good, buddy. High
And they
five.
said, heck no.
They do. Braun Strowman or Kevin Owens?
Kevin Owens.
Okay, Finn Balor or Baron Corbin?
Finn Balor.
Okay. You ready?
Match
All right.
10.
Match 10, that's right. AJ Styles or Rusev?
Rusev.
Rusev. Is that because it's Rusev Day?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay, last one. This could be an important one. This could decide the whole thing. Roman Reigns or Bobby Lashley?
Bobby Lashley.
Bobby Lashley. Wow, I was surprised by that. Why don't you think Roman Reigns is going to win?
Good Bobby Lashley is.
I can't argue with that little buddy. Give me a high five. Good answer.